wrong with correcting, but correcting in love is the right way to go. Welcome to Beyond the Surface. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa, and this, of course, is the Integrity Station, Splash 105.5 FM. We're reaching you live from the big brown roof city called Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, and we're glad that you joined me this morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you know we love Thursdays because, hey, the weekend is around the corner. We can let our head down, and also be because, you know, Thursdays are a bit more relaxed, not as, you know, tightened to the chest kind of days like Mondays. But anyway, I'm glad you're here, and I'm so glad to be here as well. All right, so today, the 10th of September, is World Suicide Prevention Day. And I found a few quotes for anybody who's feeling a little low, a little down, and considering, you know, suicide at this point. I found some quotes that, you know, I found that even for me, very encouraging. For example, one says that suicide doesn't end the chances of life getting worse. It eliminates the possibility of it getting better. All right, if that doesn't work, perhaps something like this. Tough times don't last. I know it sounds a little cliche, but it is true that it's tough people that do, and everyone wants to be a diamond. And the more the more it cuts, the brightest it sparkles. Remember, diamonds are created under pressure from dirty coal. All right, I also like this one. The person who commits suicide dies once. Those left behind die 1,000 deaths. Trying to relieve those terrible moments and understand why. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be talking to a mental health practitioner this morning. I'm excited to have him here. He's not a guest of the house at all. He's a consultant psychiatrist with the University College Hospital and senior lecturer with the Department of Psychiatry, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. He's also the founder and CEO of Asido Foundation, a leading non-profit mental health advocacy organization. So I'm sure you already know. It is Dr. Jibril Abdulmalik. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, our listeners.
It's so good to have you here.
Very nice to be here.
Well done, and congratulations on Tuesday,
yes.
September 8th, Dr. Jibril and his team from Asido Foundation actually put a few people together from the broadcast industry, print, radio, TV, and then people from refer to your people from the mental health community.
Yes.
Also. And so we had a synergy, and they sort of like putting heads together to talk about the ways we can report incidents of suicide even better. You know, oftentimes you hear in the news how, or you even see in the papers, someone died from suicide, and you see pictures, or the way we say it on radio, or somebody done yawiri, or somebody has gone mad. We definitely need to do better when we know better, and that was an avenue where we were all able to learn the better way to talk about suicide. And I think that even you should also be let into that conversation as well. And Dr. Jibril, your team and you did such a fabulous job educating us.
Thank you.
And we're going to promise to do better as people in the broadcast industry. But I'm going to bring out some of the things that we talked about from that from that platform. One of the things that people asked was, a lot of people still don't know, what is mental health? What is mental illness? You know, so I guess we can start with that one.
Right. Thank you very much. And I want to start by also appreciating you for always being an awesome partner, you know, with respect to mental health awareness, promotion, and we are always very happy to be able to count on you, as well as Splash FM too.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. Now, with respect to mental health, let me explain to our listeners, first of all, that health is defined by WHO as physical, mental, and social. I always like to start from this point because when we think health, we just think only of our physical health, and we forget that the definition of health is three things: physical, mental, and social well-being. And that is the foundational block of our well-being. Because if you have physical problems like cancer, you may become depressed. So that's a physical health problem causing mental health problem. If you have a mental health problem like drug abuse, taking too much alcohol, you may damage your liver. That's a mental health problem causing physical health challenges. How about social issues? Right. If you work in a toxic office, where every day you're going to the office, your heart is beating, bing, bing, bing. You don't know what you're going to face in the office. You know, you have a boss who can just shout at you for no reason. You may develop high blood pressure from the social problems, or you are in a bad relationship or a bad marriage. That can make you develop high blood pressure or make you become depressed. So these three components of health are closely interrelated. Physical health, mental well-being, and social well-being. So, but specifically, let's talk about mental well-being now. Firstly, again, because there are so many misconceptions, you know, it's our job is an unenviable one, because every time we want to explain, we have to start from the basics, because there are so many misconceptions already out there that everything we do, our thinking, our intelligence, our memory, our mood, emotions, behavior, everything is a function of our brain. And so anything goes wrong with our brain, such as our speech becoming irrational, our mood or emotions becoming very depressed, very low or very grandiose, our behavior becoming unpredictable and irrational, and so on and so forth, then we say there is a mental illness. But this mental illness occurs because of abnormalities in the chemistry that is going on in the brain. But mental health per se is the ability to do 4 things. Number one, fulfill your own potentials, because all of us are different and unique. So stay in your lane, but fulfill your potential. Number two, cope with the normal stress of day-to-day living. I keep emphasizing that what this, and this is not my words, this is WHO's definition. What this means is that each and every one of us is going to face challenges and stress in our day-to-day lives. Nobody is immune from it. But how do you deal with it? How do you cope? So it's not the load you are carrying, it is how you are carrying it. You can carry it and be dancing, and you can carry it and be looking like you're about to faint. So it's about how you cope with this normal stress of life. The third one is the ability to work productively, whether you're a student, to study well and go to classes if you are working. And the last one is to participate meaningfully in the society. And the smallest unit of the society is the family unit. So in your relationship as a spouse, as a father, as a mother, as a sibling, as a son or daughter to your parents, how are you relating with people? How are you relating with your neighbors? How are you relating with colleagues at work? All of these things are reflections of your mental well-being.
Okay. All right. So let's move down to suicide, because today has been dedicated to, raising awareness and also preventing, hopefully, suicide as well. Does everyone who attempts suicide or dies from suicide have had a mental illness? Is it always, does it always have to come from a place of mental illness?
No. No. What we know is that 80 to 90% of those who will die from suicide will have a background mental illness. And the commonest one is depression. Because when they feel depressed, they feel overwhelmingly sad, they are in such emotional pain, they just wish they could just sleep and not wake up again. So depression is the single biggest risk factor for suicide. And mental illnesses generally are culpable in 80 to 90%. But the remaining 10 to 20% are those that are just impulsive actions, where someone just has a bad reaction to something and just on an impulse decides to do something drastic. So in those cases, it's on an impulse, it's impulsive, it's not because there's background mental illness. But you can see that the overwhelming majority, there is a background mental health challenge. And that gives us a critical window for intervention, that if anybody is depressed or you have a mental health problem, please ensure you get adequate treatment. During
the media reportage, sort of telling people how to report suicide better, we raised some of the issues, things that people do that are inappropriate, that we haven't, because one of the things we said was, if you know better, you do better. There are a lot of people who don't know better. In the movie industry, we see how mental health is portrayed on radio and TV. What are some of those things? What are the things that we need to do differently?
I think it's important that, particularly for the media, and then this is not just for mainstream media, because everybody with a phone now is
social media.
Exactly. I mean, something happens and somebody has taken pictures, people are taking videos and sharing on social media. It's a bit insensitive. Let's walk it back a bit and put ourselves in the position, if that person is your family member, your brother, your sister, your spouse, someone close to you that you really love, that has suddenly died from suicide. And before you know it, even before you heard officially, it's all over social media and people are making all sorts of comments. Oh, this person is such such selfish, and it's not nice, because what we know is that everybody who dies from suicide, at least 138 people are affected. Those are the people in this network of the affected person, the family members, the friends, the colleagues at work, the neighbors, the classmates, and so at least 138 people are estimated to be affected by every suicide. So if you put their feelings and sensitivities into consideration, you will be more careful about the kind of comments you paste, and you'll be less judgmental.
Exactly. More empathetic.
More empathetic, exactly. And then particularly the sharing of very graphic details. Oh, this person failed this exam. Oh, the mother was not very supportive. Oh, this one was that, and so on and so forth. And then the person now went and bought so and so, and then took so and so, and then did so and so.
The details are too much.
Too much.
Okay.
And the major danger of putting so much detail out there is that there are minds that are impressionable.
So you're teaching them how to do it in case they want to do it.
Including young adolescents who are very impressionable, who may be upset because they have a pimple on their nose and there's a birthday party tomorrow and they are not going to look nice at the birthday party, and then you now give them an idea of, and this, all I'm saying are things that are scientific facts. There is what is called the copycat syndrome, or Weather syndrome, which is that when there is a publicly discussed suicide that is vivid graphic details, in the next days to weeks you start seeing people. I mean, it happened in Lagos. A medical doctor did something in Lagos, and in the following days and weeks, many people attempted to do the same. That is the power of, and that is what we all need to prevent.
Right. I really like that. There's so many impressionable people out there. Young people are still discovering themselves. So when we give too much detail about how somebody did something, you will find that, you are an adult. You've forgotten when you were a teenager too, and because everybody wore blouse as trousers, you wore it that way. So it's easy to say, what is wrong with these young people? Deal with it. And those are one of the things we'll talk about as well when we come back from this break. That tough love, that, when we think people need to get over it and all of that. And also, you're listening to me now and perhaps you're saying, I can never have any mental illness. I want to ask Dr. Abdulmalik, there are people who can vouch that it just can never be me. When we come back from this break, we'll find out. Don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Malaria no be play matter. You go combat action for your body. Anytime malaria show, knock am shalatem. Anytime malaria come home, shalatem. If malaria trouble you,
má ṣe gba ibà láyè lára rẹ o. Tètè kojú rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Shalatem. Shalatem jẹ́ ojúlówó oògùn ibà tí a fi Artemita àti Lumefantrine ṣe láti ọwọ́ Shalina Healthcare ní ilẹ̀ tiwantiwa Nàìjíríà. Shalatem wà fún ọmọdé, ó sì wà fún àgbàlagbà. Pàápàá jùlọ, ó wà fún gbogbo ọjọ́ orí. Wàyé o, rántí láti lo Shalatem pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ. Tí àlàáfíà ò bá wá dé bá ara rẹ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, tètè kó yá lọ rí dókítà.
She is sometimes a judge.
Rosie, apologize to your sister.
And other times an accountant.
How much did Auntie give you? Let me keep it.
She's also a nutritionist.
Smoothie is good for you, Bella. Drink up.
She's even a musician.
Happy birthday to you.
Here's the mom,
Happy
the heart of our home.
You.
That's why at 3 Crowns, we consistently take care of mom so she can keep the rhythm of her family going. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Hey! It is the Samsung Exciting Price Slash. Enjoy quality camera experience with family and friends using the 115-degree wide-angle camera of A11 and super fast app opening speed at a new price of 53,500 Naira. Also get the powered M11 at 59,900 Naira and A10s at 51,000 Naira. All prices slashed to deliver you the best smartphone experience. Don't miss this opportunity to own your genuine Samsung device. Visit a Samsung authorized store near you now. For more information, call 0800 Samsung.
Jig, make your house stay sparkle. She come make you nyama everywhere they shine you. She come from kitchen ground to tiles, sink. Another house surface you. She come make it clean. Anything where jig touch go shine.
Here and so, your old bonge jig not the only clean white cloth. You still fit use and clean different kind of place. And to come out any kind stain for inside your house. Jig they keep 99.9% nyama when they cause sickness for surface. Oh yeah, go buy your own.
She come make it clean.
Hello, network yo mada. Jẹ́ n gbógi lọ kí n lè gbọ́ dáadáa o.
Misu, Mahan Lem, Molly for Ronke Giwa Onafuwa, Cosim, and will come about to see. You must get Wobi network is a draw 1K. Xiaomi smartphone, local by Italian Tassi, work and boss, will call it boss at water, Goku Guaye, Locusoria, Yatos, our phone, no Sauru, design near Muya Siba, Yala Ya camera, Tomalek, the review to a mototon, Bemi DJ battery life, Gigram at internal memory, Lobby alone, Papa, Palo charge line, Wala, I want to Yayi Xiaomi phones, no sound, that's all on Lori Shirish in Xiaomi smartphones, Redmi Note 9 Pro, Redmi 9A, Redmi 9C, Redmi 9, at Redmi Note 9, Xiaomi smartphone, only screen protector, at calibration to Shedada, Bubole Taja, 10,000 lower Banisol, let it leave, Peru operator, Ganila Pepe, Xiaomi smartphone, and Bekala Sasono, Xiaomi, innovation for everyone. She's sometimes a judge.
Apologize to your sister.
And other times an accountant.
How much did Auntie give you? Let me keep it.
She's also a nutritionist.
Smoothie is good for you, Bella. Drink up.
She's even a musician.
Happy birthday to you.
Here's the mom, the heart of our home. That's why at 3 Crowns, we consistently take care of mom so she can keep the rhythm of her family going. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Àgbájọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ ògidì méjì inú rẹ̀ ìlera dé agbára dé Atelumex dé Atelumex oríṣi méjì ní ẹ̀yà Atelumex olómi oníhóró Atelumex gbẹlura ìlera dé Atelumex. Àní ẹ̀yàn Atelumex oníhóró tàbí olómi láàyò àgbájọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ Artemita àti lumefantrine ní láti iléeṣẹ́ Abla tó ń ṣe ògidì oògùn tí ò lábàwọ́n. Atelumex wà ní àwọn fámísì àdúgbò rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tápẹẹrẹ ibà tirẹ̀ kò bá lọ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ rí dókítà rẹ̀ fún àyẹ̀wò máa ka ìwé pélébé inú páálí oògùn rẹ̀ nígbà gbogbo.
Today, come watch the match for my phone now. My guy, let you be sure guy.
It's kick-off and the game gets underway this bright and beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I've got to tell you, this is no doubt the most anticipated match of the season. Straight into action, Jones has launched the ball forward to Fred, and Fred kicks some... Oh, now I have to say the ball is in your court, Mr. Tunde. Because that sound you just heard is a data warning notification.
Oh, not again.
You now have 5 megabytes left. Very soon you'll need to imagine the rest of this match or get the gist of it from your friends tomorrow. Point is, you won't hear me shout, "Go!"
Running out of data can ruin your entertainment. Choose Glow for your data needs and just dial *777# to choose the best offers on data. Now get as much as 6.75 gigabytes for 1,500 naira and 17 gigabytes for 3,000 naira. That's more data, more value, more streaming, more entertainment, and more everything.
Glow Unlimited.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Welcome back to Beyond the Surface. I hope you're doing well wherever it is you're listening to us from. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. So I want you to do a quick exercise for me. So place your hand over your heart. If you can feel that, your heart beating. Well, that's actually called purpose. You're alive for a reason. So do not give up. I know that the times are hard, and I know that situations sometimes can, make people question why they're alive. Why am I here? What's going on? But don't know that this shall pass. And for you, babe, perhaps you're listening to us and you're thinking, it just can never be me. You're the happiest person in the room. You're always laughing, always thinking happy thoughts, whatever. So Dr. Jibril Abdul Malik is still here with me. And I wanted to ask, are there people there who can say, because sometimes even I get overconfident. I'm like, but then sometimes just maybe even small before my period, and I'm like, oh, what is life? Please tell us.
Right. Well, all of us as human beings, the same way we cannot beat our chest and say, I will never have a car accident. You simply can't say, because there are too many factors out there that are outside your control. So there is nobody that can say that he or she will never be involved in an accident or he or she will never develop hypertension, because you simply can't say. And the same way, none of us can beat our chest and say we will never have a mental health problem. Okay? Because just like any part of our our problem, of our body, can have a problem. We can have a problem with our heart, with our kidney, with our liver. At the same time, we can also have a problem with our brain at any point in time. And it's so completely unpredictable. However, having said that, there are many things we can do to enjoy good mental well-being and minimize the risk of developing mental health problems. And so we can do those ones. I'll talk about them in a minute. And in addition to doing those preventive tips,
exercises,
you should also be ready that if at any time you notice any signs that you are not coping well, you are not doing well, or sometimes you may not notice, it may be people close to you that will say, look, I don't think, are you okay? There's something, the way you've been behaving the past few days or weeks, are you okay? So if at any point there are such signs that things may not be completely okay, please do not hesitate to promptly seek medical intervention from a professional. Okay.
So what are these exercises that one can do, and then what are the ways to also spot that, especially not for oneself, but maybe loved ones?
And the very first one is that we are human beings, and the human touch, the human contact, relationship, having someone care for you can never be underrated. It is the single biggest factor. Most individuals who attempt suicide, when they then recover, and they say that at that time they felt extremely lonely. Like nobody really cared, nobody really understood, as if they were alone. So that human touch of relatedness, that there's somebody that has my back, there's someone that cares, is the single most. So we need to invest in a human relationship. Now we have 5,000 friends on Facebook, so many likes, but how many people really have friends that they can sit down and let their hair down and ventilate, and the person will sit down patiently and they know for sure that that person has their back? How many people have people like that? Not many anymore. So that's number one. Number two, look after yourself. Eat well, sleep well. Our brain restores itself when we sleep. If you are not sleeping well, it's like a laptop that you have 20 windows open all the time. After a while, the laptop is going to hang. And you have to forcefully shut it down to reboot before it starts working again. We don't want our brain to hang. So we have to rest, shut it down, and allow beauty sleep, nature's best doctor, to restore our brain from time to time. Then physical exercise that is regular. By physical exercise, I don't mean you must go and register in a gym. It could mean dancing in your room for 30 minutes to music you like. Work out a sweat is physical activity. When you exercise like that, your muscles release hormones that lift your mood. They make you feel good. And then your muscles will also be tired, which will enable you sleep better at night. So it's a win-win when you exercise regularly. Okay, so these are basic things that we can do to look after ourselves and
eat well,
sleep well, exercise regularly, invest in human relationships. Don't be alone. As some people say, I'm an introvert, I don't really like. But even no matter how introverted you are, have at least 3 people that you are connected with and you touch base with from time to time.
I always tell people, as well, my friends that say, oh, I'm not a people person. When if it's because you have not found your tribe. When you find your tribe, even the most introverted and timid person comes alive when they find people that understand them, get them. So perhaps you should make more friends so you can find the kind of people that get you and you can relate with. And I think that's so important. Papa, when we have friends who are the most jolly person ever, what kind of things we can look at? Because we have to look out for each other at the end of the day, even though social media has made it hard. Well, with 5,000 friends, if you're not realistic, when it hits you that I'm alone in my room and I have these 5,000 people who just like my picture, that loneliness can hit harder than when you already know I don't have friends, I know my situation. So how do we look at this?
The things to watch out for are changes in behavior. And again, because it's critical for me to underline that you will not notice these things if you already do not have a close relationship with someone. Because if you don't know the baseline for that person, you will not notice when a change happens from that baseline. So you have to, that's still emphasizing human relationship. So change in behavior. Someone who was very extroverted suddenly becomes reclusive and withdrawn and doesn't come out to attend any event and doesn't come out for any hangout with friends. Someone who used to be the life of the friends, the tribe, group, or the group, suddenly becomes someone who has dropped out of circulation. That's one sign. Second is excessive feelings of sadness, and then number 3 is reduced productivity. So if a colleague at work that used to be a high achieving, always punctual, always deliver on target, suddenly becomes sloppy and comes late and looks not together, So these are some subtle signs. And then some people will turn to drugs.
Right.
Someone who was not taking drugs before suddenly starts drinking alcohol, suddenly starts taking drugs, and you just see that. So these are general ones. Specific ones is that you find that their speech, the content of what they are saying, if they are depressed, they will keep saying things that sound miserable.
Let me just sleep and not wake up again.
It's not worth it. In fact, what are we even living for? It's not even worth it. In fact, I'm even useless. I'm no good. Those kind of statements, can give you an idea that something may not be all right, even if they are still showing up at work and doing what they should do. And then the appearance, the dressing, the attention.
And parents should look out with their children as well.
Right.
These are things you need to be on the lookout for.
Attention to grooming. For instance, if a young person starts taking cannabis, for instance, what you begin to notice that their eyes become red all the time.
Right.
So they start wearing dark sunshades even in the house because they want to hide it. And then, they start dressing, looking sneaky and suspicious, shabby, not well together. Someone who used to be very well groomed suddenly becomes a shabby dresser, careless, wears mismatched shoes and stuff like that. So these are some things that you can notice that may give you an idea that something is not all right. But you won't notice all these things if you are not already close to the person or if you are not paying attention.
All right. So, if someone has an accident, people know, get an ambulance, do this and do that. But mental health, people often are a little shocked, don't know, or confused. So oftentimes people hide it or people just ignore it. Don't worry, you'll be fine tomorrow. You'll get over it, whatever. So what are the quick things? Like if a physical illness happens, what are we know the quick first aid things to do, but with mental health, what do we do?
Right. Thank you very much. There is a concept that is called psychological first aid. And I encourage our readers, our listeners at home to check it, browse it, psychological first aid. Very simple, basic things. The concept of first aid essentially is the kind of immediate health assistance you provide to somebody before a qualified medical professional arrives at the scene.
Right.
So if somebody suddenly collapses on the street, for instance, you go there, what you do is first aid. Ensure the person lie on their left side, ensure that if they are wearing a tie like me, loosen it so that they can breathe comfortably. If there's anything that can injure them, move it away. Those are basic first aid. So psychological first aid too. If someone is in distress or is having mental health problems or emotional distress, the very first thing that all of us can do is let them know that you can see they are in distress and you care for them and you want to know how to help. Simply indicating that you care goes a long way. And there are studies that have been done in East Africa that shows that mere befriending, having somebody just check on you, how are you? I've not seen you in a while. I just came to check on how you are doing. I hope you are okay. That alone improves depressive symptoms, even without treatment, without training. So there's this, not like, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist. That's not it. It's just the human touch of I care for you. I'm interested in your well-being. I hope you are okay. That goes a long way. And if you then see that they are not getting better, then you need to scale it up and encourage them to see a mental health professional.
Okay. And how easy is that? For example, in a UCH, how easy is it to see?
Oh, it's very easy. I mean, in almost every teaching hospital, there's a department of psychiatry in many federal medical centers, and there are standalone psychiatric hospitals. So in UCH, for instance, you walk in, if you have a referral from another hospital, then you just come to our clinics. Our clinics are on Mondays and Fridays in the afternoon at 2. But if you are coming, you come around 1 so that because of registration and documentation before the clinic starts. So if you have a referral letter, you walk in straight with the letter and you get an appointment. And registration and everything is going to cost you less than 3,000 or thereabouts. And so, and you get to see a mental health professional to listen to you, discuss with you and give you professional advice. And if you don't have a referral from outside, then you'll have to come through the general outpatient department, GOPD department, where the medical doctors there will see you, because they are general family physicians and so on. So they will see you first and decide which specific clinic so that's like the clearing house for you. So if you are coming and you don't have a specific referral to a specific department, you have to go through the general outpatient department, where they will listen to you, sort you out. If they can deal with your problem, they will sort it out. If they feel you need to go to a specialist clinic, then they will direct you to the specific clinic you need to go to.
And I feel a lot of people are afraid of talking about their mental health situation because of especially how in the media we're portrayed it. For example, I learned at the on the platform that things like oti mental, oti yawe, because we give people this idea that when they have mental health issues, they are going to be committed to some house. I also learned that arrow. We've also associated arrow to mean they will put you in some place with people who are jumping and biting people all over the place. How can we correct this misconception?
Right. I think it's a gradual sensitization that we have to do. One of the things we are trying to push at the ACIDO Foundation, for instance, is to include mental health awareness in the curriculum right from primary school. Let people begin to learn, children, that it's possible that you may break your leg. You may also have emotional problems, and you need to show support. You need to show empathy, and so it's a sort of societal re-engineering of our mindset, because we just use it carelessly. Oh, Tiawiri, oh, you are mad, you are an animal, you are this, as insults and stuff like that, and we don't appreciate that. What if the person genuinely is having mental health problems at that time? They will feel very bad. Okay, so we need to watch our language, but it's going to be a slow, gradual process. But we need to, at least those of us that are adults and are listening to this program now, we can consciously make a decision today to be more sensitive, more caring about the feelings of others.
That's why I pledged Unashamed. And I will let you know how you can also pledge. I also pledge as well. But if you're suffering, if you have mental health issues, know that they're not going to put you in some straight jacket. You can go and talk to somebody, and it's not how you think. It's not what you've always thought. So we are going to do our best to make sure we change this narrative so that people who have mental health can. I mean, Kanye West is somebody that we all know he has mental health.
Prince Harry.
Oh, really?
And their mother.
Okay, exactly. Yes,
Prince
Lady
Harry,
Diana.
Prince Harry was very open to say that he had problems as a child dealing with the loss of his mom. He had to became depressed. He's up till now. He still sees a therapist from time to time. And he's. I mean,
there are people who are high profile. They're living. Yes, they are wonderful, successful people. So he's no longer a something to stigmatize people on. But also something I learned was that you don't even say commit suicide, because committing implies that there is a crime, and then it's actually a crime in Nigeria to attempt suicide. Especially if it's, I don't want to say successful or unsuccessful, but if you attempt suicide, how do we change that? I mean, shouldn't you should be saying, okay, how can we help you? You put them in jail for trying to end their life.
It's part of the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in the country, that attempted suicide remains a crime in our criminal law and punishable by imprisonment for 1 year.
Wow.
When we know that 80 to 90% of those that we attempt suicide will be people who are depressed. So, I mean, globally, we now know that it should be seen as a red flag.
Exactly.
A
How do you
cry
now
for
threaten
help.
that person? Try and bully that person.
The person needs help. The person needs treatment. We need to support that person. So, it's part of what we are doing advocacy for. And we have a mental health bill before the National Assembly that aims to promote modern care and protect the dignity and human rights of persons who are suffering from mental health problems. So we hope that the National Assembly, the senators, the House of Rep members will help us to ensure that this is passed so that we no longer use obsolete laws for mental health.
So how can we individually maybe go to your local government? I don't know. We can, put our voices together and make sure we put pressure on them to stop this horrible thing, making a criminal somebody who already...
In fact, even at state level, the State House of Assembly can actually change the laws in their states.
Fantastic. All right, so let's definitely do more. And people can also pledge
Right.
Right.
The Unashamed 2020 campaign of the Acido Foundation, which is like we are in the new decade of the 2020s. We want to promote open conversations, no more shame, no more stigma.
No shame.
Feel comfortable to come forward and get the help you need if you have emotional problem. So we encourage all of you, our listeners at home, to please visit the Acido Foundation website, www.acidofoundation.com/unashamed 2020. You take a pledge to generate a certificate for you, and you can get a DP with your profile that you can also share. So please, I plead with all of us here, let us be a positive agent for change by taking the Unashamed 2020 pledge and inviting others to also do the same.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jibril. There's this conversation, you can go weeks and still be talking about mental health because there's so many areas. So, but obviously this is all the time we have, and we hope that in the little time we've had, we're able to reorientate, educate, unlearn some of the things that we used to do, because that's what it's all about. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. And we know that when you know better, you do better. Thank you so much. Dr. Jibril Abdul Malik is a consultant psychiatrist with the University College Hospital and senior lecturer with the Department of Psychiatry, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. He is also the founder and CEO of Acido Foundation, a leading non-profit mental health advocacy organization. You can also read his article in the Tribune newspaper every
Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Today,
what time?
If you get to this Tribune newspaper, it's there.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you once again.
Thank you.
My name is Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. Oral Biri is coming up at 10 o'clock, so anticipate it's going to be another amazing time with myself and Falakemi Mighty. Don't go away.